What's up, everybody? I'm PJ, and I have my girl Kara here with me.
Hey, y'all.
So today on Let's Talk About It slash Good Boy, I don't know whatever this is, just yet. I don't know what it is just yet. But
Yeah.
anyway, today I do want to talk about knowing your worth and what does it mean to know your worth and how we can put into better practicing of knowing our worth. Are you
Yes,
ready?
yes, yes, yes. I'm so
Okay.
excited.
So let's go ahead and get started. First,
Okay.
make sure you guys follow Good Boy Aesthetics on Instagram.
Yes.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel Philip Jordan for more, episodes where we talk about stuff like this. So first, I do want to go into what does worth mean, and I know Kara, you had looked up a definition. So the definition that we have here for worth is the level at which someone or something deserves to be valued or rated. What you
Yes.
think about that?
So I actually love that definition because there were a couple of different definitions. One being adjective and then two under the noun category. And knowing your worth is a noun. Like your worth is something that is like not tangible, but it's something that's measurable. Like it says
Ooh,
in the
that's deep.
yeah. I think that definition had some
Prevalence, yeah.
yeah.
I agree. I definitely feel like the level at which someone or something deserves to be rated or valued. Like you said earlier, that means that it's subjective. Worth it can be subjective. I may look at this pillow and say that's worth like $500, but you may look at it and say, baby, that's worth $5. So it's just like
Exactly.
worth is
Exactly.
definitely subjective. It's something that you can't really put into somebody else's hands. I feel like,
Right, right. And
yeah.
that's why it's very important for you to see yourself in a positive light because that is everything. Because your worth is what you think of yourself. You can't, if you depend that on other people,
It's over with.
it's over with.
Yes,
You're gonna ruin yourself. Like,
definitely
yeah.
understand. I definitely agree with you on that. We have another like topic or question that I have for you, Kara. Then I'll start. Is what does knowing your worth mean to you?
Okay, so I thought about this question for like a minute and I came up with basically knowing my worth is to me is knowing my worth through God's eyes, is seeing myself through God's eyes. Because I tried the whole seeing myself through how other people see me, that didn't work out. I tried to see myself in a good light, like in my own. And honestly, y'all, that didn't work out either. Like it has not been working because your mind, I feel like without some ground, some like solitude, it's gonna wander. Like it's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be in a straight line. Like your mind can be as positive or as negative as you make it. So with that being said, finding my worth in God, I'm really on that journey right now, and just seeing myself how He made me, and not how other people see me or how I see myself, but who He made me to be, which I know is gonna be an amazing product. So I'm in that journey right now.
I love that, Kara, for real.
Yeah.
Like I love when you were just saying how even sometimes like the way that we even see ourselves may not always be enough because sometimes we don't even see, like you said, see ourselves the way God sees us, which
Mm-hmm.
is fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
Beautiful, like perfect in God's
Perfect.
eyes, like because we're all
Mm-hmm.
made in His image. So it's just like, how can I trust myself to see myself as the best version of myself when sometimes I don't act as if, yeah, or
Accordingly. Yeah.
accordingly, yeah.
Yeah.
But I definitely agree, and I feel like for me, I feel like I've been asking everybody a question, but I rarely thought about it myself.
Yourself. Yeah.
But I'd say for me, knowing my worth or knowing your worth, it does mean like knowing that like no matter what, I guess okay for me, knowing my worth, it means, and what I'm learning now, it means like no matter what, like I could just be homeless on the street, not have nothing. I'm still worthy of respect. I'm still worthy
Mm-hmm.
of simple, yeah, respect and respecting myself too. Like that's really been my biggest thing. Like sometimes, you don't really realize certain things are not showing respect to yourself
Yeah.
until maybe something happened or like something like that. But like sometimes I can honestly say like I haven't been showing myself the best respect.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And we set the pace for like how we allow other people to treat us. So like
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's important for us to
To know,
have
like,
that.
yeah, like, know, I guess, yeah, know what you'll accept, know what you'll allow, and know who you are. I think that's like the basis of knowing your worth, in my opinion.
I just think that it's like honestly a journey getting to know your worth and really being grounded in it, like being grounded in your morals, what you will and won't do, what you will and won't allow. Um, and it's a journey to get there. And we were just talking about enjoying the journey,
Yes, like
like,
we saw that Tyler James post. It was
mhm,
about
mhm,
enjoying, like you said, the journey and enjoying where we are now. Because when we actually get to that destination,
right,
the stakes are a lot higher. So
exactly,
it's like, yeah, I think that also can coincide with just knowing your worth too. It's like, I don't know, sometimes you can kind of, people will do whatever it takes to get like quick money or quick clout
mhm,
or quick access to stuff.
right,
And it's like when you actually know your worth, sometimes you do have to take a step back and say, is this a decision that I want to make for my integrity, for my, self
mhm,
respect, or is it something that, will go against that and be outside of God's will? And yes, I'll have
right,
the thing that I want, whatever it is, but at the same time, like God said, when the Bible says, like, what is it? What gains a man to, what is it? What gains a man to gain the whole world, or then lose his soul?
and then
Yeah,
yeah,
it's something like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
And
Got
it's
to get better in my scripture, y'all.
yeah, me too. But hey, we're being honest. But y'all know what I'm
Yes,
talking about.
yeah,
But it's like, yeah, it's like I could get $1 million today, but if I did something that makes me look at myself differently in the mirror, does it really matter?
is it
Yes, I'm gonna
really
be happy right then.
is it really worth it?
Is it really worth it? Yeah,
Is it?
because it's gonna catch up. Like, yeah, I'm happy now. I got it. Blah blah blah. But in the end, like when I look in the mirror, or when I, close my eyes at night, or when it's just me in the silence, I know it's gonna come up in my mind. Like,
You really did
I
that,
really betrayed myself.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do want to read some of the responses that people have commented under the comments and all of that. So you could
Yeah.
start off.
Okay, so one comment said, basically, what knowing your worth is definitely setting boundaries with people and not allowing to people to treat you any type of way.
I love
Which,
that. Setting boundaries is so important because, like, people will really like run over you if you don't. And me and you had a conversation all the time
we
about like
do,
boundaries and like
yeah,
being submissive and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
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 it's like a threshold when you from being like a nice person to where it's starting to deplete yourself.
right,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. We talked about that, y'all. One more said, basically knowing your self-worth, I think, is what you will and won't put up with, which ties into that, setting the boundaries and what allow to make you feel bad, certain things that people do, like whether you allow that to happen or you put a stop to it and you say no, like you're not going to make me continue to make me feel this type of way, like no.
Do
So
you feel like I mean, I feel like we all have, but do you feel like there was times recently like where you have put up with something it's like, you shouldn't have?
yeah, definitely,
Yeah. I agree saying.
definitely.
Or even like doing something like, doing something's wrong, like, but you still do
But
it
you still
anyway.
do it,
Yeah, because
yes.
it's like it feel good, or
Or I'm like, I won't do it again.
right,
Or
I won't do
like
it
after
again.
this time,
And that's
like
what I can say too, not to get too deep and spiritual though. Like sometimes we can like take for granted God's forgiveness and His mercy.
mhm,
I know I
mhm.
can because sometimes, like you said, it's like, well, I just do it tomorrow, or I'll like try again tomorrow or whatever.
Right,
It's like,
yeah. Tomorrow isn't even guaranteed, and we really don't realize that. Like we do when someone's gone, like when someone leaves this earth, we're like, man, especially when it's unexpected. It's just like, man, we really aren't promised tomorrow. But outside of that, we really don't think about the fact that you know every day isn't promised to us.
that is true.
So
So yeah.
yeah.
I have one from TikTok that was just saying, the more I learn how a God really made me that bitch and how special and intentional I was created, the more I know my worth and don't play around with it. That was
Okay.
T. Shout
Okay.
out to my girl Braxton. She put that on here.
Yay.
I love that though because it's just like you sometimes you really have to hype yourself up. Like,
You
and I
do.
think that actually
You
comes
do.
into knowing your worth. Like for me, like I actually listen to like subliminals or like
Mhm.
affirmations where it's like, repeating Like
In your
I love,
head.
myself, or the best things always happen, or just stuff like that. Like just good
Yes.
subliminals to go to sleep with, because when you sleep, that's when your subconscious is open the most, and
I
that's when
didn't know that.
yeah, that's like when you're susceptible to receiving like thoughts and just
Mhm.
everything, because your subconscious is like wide open,
Oh
and
wow.
so
I
it's just
didn't know
like
that.
yes, I've definitely have tried. Well, I've definitely can say that my inner thoughts have gotten better since I've been listening to the affirmations at
Okay.
night. Like sometimes I just have it playing, and it's literally like repeating like the best outcomes always happen to me, or
Oh
the
yeah.
universe is working everything out for my good. Literally, it's like a 3 hour video. They have 8 hour videos,
Mhm.
and
They
it
can
just
play
yeah
like in
play
your sleep. Oh
yes
nice.
girl, and I just wake up feeling so good, and just your inner thoughts are so good too, because
Mhm.
your inner monologue is so important too. I think in knowing your worth.
It is very important
Yeah.
because, like you said, it's the subliminals, the little things that just pop up in your head randomly when you're just
Those
zoned
intrusive
out or
thoughts too.
whatever. Yes,
Yeah.
the intrusive thoughts, they be coming out,
On Monday, dude.
popping out.
And then I love how she said intentional hours created. Because, we really were all created intentionally. Like, God didn't make any mistake in the way
Right.
that He created us. Or I'll say that God knows His plan before He knew what we was going to be and do before we ever did it, before we even stepped foot out of our mama's womb.
Mhm.
So I feel like that's why we can't be so hard on ourselves. And like,
We're going to get there.
yeah, we're gonna get there. I feel like we're going all over the place, but it's
We are.
okay.
But I also think like we put into knowing our worth into like our accomplishments a lot of the
Yes,
time. And I feel like knowing like your worth is not tied into what you've necessarily done. Like you said, even if you're like a homeless person on the street, like
you're worth something.
you're worth something. Like because we're in our 20s and we are trying to get things accomplished, a lot of the times we can compare ourselves and not really think that we're worthy because our other peers are doing this and doing that, and that has nothing to do with you and your worth. Like, and I think that's a good reminder. We need to remind ourselves of that more often.
I agree with you too, because like you said, like comparison is the thief of all joy,
Yes.
and so it's just like you can feel like you the baddest bitch in the world, and then you look at somebody else post and they, doing got a BBL, doing everything, it's just like
Mhm.
damn, but you don't even know what it took for them to get that, and like
Exactly.
the shit that's going on behind the scenes too.
Right.
So it's like you're right, like we really have to like and like we really have to like be grateful for our cards, because like you said, it could always be worse, or even like when it looks like it's good, it's not really always as good as it looks
Mhm.
for other people.
And even when like knowing your worth, that won't bother you, like all that stuff. But I feel like wow, if you're on a journey of knowing your worth, getting to know your worth, I think that it's important to kind of remove those triggers if needed. So if you need to take a social media break, do
Yeah.
that.
Shout out to Ari
um
Lennox.
yes.
Love you, girly.
Yes, love
Yeah.
you, I'm so proud of
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. Yeah.
um
She
but
know her
yeah,
worth
just
now.
do what's best for you in this journey of getting to know your worth, because it's gonna take time. Nothing happens overnight.
You right, baby.
So
And it's like it's hard to know your worth. Like isn't like I don't know, I feel like sometimes it can kind of be portrayed like you know your worth, and like you confident,
mm,
you feeling yourself, you got everything together in your world, but sometimes knowing your worth doesn't always necessarily mean, or it's not always necessarily pretty, because like
exactly.
I mean, yes, I mean I feel like I'm getting there to know my worth, but it's like even with that, it's decisions that I would normally make when I didn't know my worth that feel good that I have to change.
Right.
Now that I'm learning to know my worth,
Right.
because it's like yeah, I want to go have sex with you know a stranger,
Mhm.
but sometimes it's like,
Is that really equivalent to like
is that something that I need to
I
do
need to do
in this moment as a person who is on the
trying
journey
to
to know my worth?
exactly. Yes,
and,
trying to better themselves.
and yeah, and yes, it's gonna feel good, but that post-nut clarity is a bitch.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah,
crazy.
it's
It's
crazy.
like wow.
Yes, like the whole world just changed after that nut a month. And so it's like I don't want to live by post-nut clarity.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay. I have a few more comments about knowing your worth that people left.
Okay.
And they said to me, knowing your worth is never settling no matter what. which definitely tied into what we were talking about earlier. Just setting those boundaries and making sure, yeah, you're not settling. You know what you want. First, the first step is knowing what you want, figuring out what you want. And then once you know that, setting those boundaries to get that.
Yes,
Yeah.
settling. No matter what, I can agree with that. Now sometimes though, I don't know. It's two truths, because like
Yeah.
Sheer, well, I guess that wouldn't really be settling, but it's settling in a way. Like Sheer Seven, I don't know if y'all watch Sheer Seven, Sprinkle
Mhm.
Lady.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Yes, she always talks about like you can't really always go for looks because most of the dudes with the looks they gonna think they prettier than you, and then you gonna end up chasing them, and
Mhm.
then a lot of them don't be having the bad. So it's like I think sometimes you have to settle
You gotta settle for.
for certain things though. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like if he provide, he giving me that money. That's not so bad.
He may not be
The most
the
attractive,
a
but he
person I
or
want to jump on.
right,
You
or
know.
if he is doing everything right. Like for example, like what if it's a person that not even with the money, but they got money and like they doing everything right and like courting you, emotionally available for you, but you're
Mhm.
not all the way attracted to them. Like
Yeah.
what do you feel like? Do you feel like you should settle, or do you feel like you should just say this not for me because I want to find somebody with the looks and all of it?
I feel like that wouldn't be settling, but I also feel like you shouldn't cut yourself off just for that. Like I would say, I don't know, give it time because you could grow to have that attraction just based on the way you're being treated and loved, and
Yes.
so I don't know. It's a hard line between like leading somebody on and just like giving it time to kind of get there. If that's the only thing, if
Hmm.
you love everything else and it's just you don't want to jump on them, give it some time. It could get
You're
there.
right though, because she also talked about growing in love. She was like, falling in love is not real. Like, why would you want to fall in love? Like,
Right,
you need to
right.
grow in
Grow in
love
love.
because essentially you can't really love somebody in a day. You really have to like we're growing constantly. Like we're literally
Yeah,
like even us having this
changing,
conversation could make us
evolving.
evolve or grow to something different. Open something up.
Hmm.
So it's just like we have to learn how to grow in love, not only with people but ourselves too, because I think that also helps in knowing your worth, knowing that like I don't have to wake up the next day and love every part of myself. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a process. Sometimes I may not like a part of my body or something like that. And
Hmm.
that doesn't necessarily mean I don't know my worth or I don't love myself, but it's like today I'm not really like, or I'm being honest with myself, or, like sometimes you just have to be honest with yourself. Like
Hmm.
sometimes I look at old vlogs that I were recording or editing and I'm like, I don't really like this how, I don't really like this.
Hmm.
And they don't really mean like, hey, I don't really know my worth, or I think that I thought that means that I know my worth and know like what I want to present myself as, if that makes sense. It's kind of
Yeah.
hard to explain, but like I know what I want to present
Yeah.
myself as. I know I don't want to like look any kind of way, so I know I'm worthy to look good.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. But even on the days that you don't look good, you know that you're
I'm still
still,
worthy.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're still a good person. You're still PJ.
I'm still PJ.
Period. And we love you.
Yes, I love you. Okay, so was there any more comments? Or was it?
No, wait. I think there was one more. Yes, and um, I like this one. It says, "I think knowing your worth can mean loving yourself enough to do the hard things."
Mm, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
that like tied into what we were talking about, like doing what it is that you need to do to be that better version of yourself. Like
yeah.
holding yourself accountable is knowing your worth.
And even us working out. Yeah.
Exactly. I was just gonna say, like us going to the gym, making
Yeah.
sure we're staying active, like we're holding ourselves accountable. But
To how
that's
that we want to
no
look.
exactly. Look how we want to look. Know that we want to be healthy, and we want it like long term.
Right, right.
So yeah.
I definitely
Period.
I love that too. And doing like that kind of going coincide what I was just saying earlier too. How like, you can't, or knowing your worth doesn't mean always making the best or the easiest decisions. Like sometimes
Mhm.
it does mean, like you said, making hard decisions, doing something that you really want, or not doing something that you really want to do. Like
Yeah.
so,
Don't eat that cake.
yeah, but
I'm gonna
it's
eat that
like I
cookie
know
though.
the goals that I want to go to. So it's like
Exactly.
I can't do it. I gotta put the cake down, or
Yeah.
or I can't have sex right now. That's really
Right.
my thing,
Right.
sex, y'all. Like that's my biggest transgression, I should say, or my biggest
Obstacle
thorn, the
right
obstacle.
now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's lust and
Your
sex.
cross right now. And
Yes,
that's okay. Look. Jesus said, "Take up your cross and follow me."
Hey,
So
and I'm
look,
following.
come on.
But okay, so last thing. Oh my God, I'm very happy though, y'all. We are almost done with this. It
Yay!
like went so quick.
It
But
did, but
last thing, how can we practice knowing our worth? So we want to just talk about like some tips. Of course, this doesn't mean like we the Supreme Court Justice of knowing our worth
because
at
we
all.
still
Because like I
figuring
said,
it
I'm still
out.
figuring that shit out. You say you still figuring it out. We still
Yeah,
figuring it out.
we are.
But in our journey, I do want to thank you for coming on, Kara,
Of
and
course,
really having this candid conversation. And of course, I'm sure we'll probably be doing more videos together.
of
But
course.
I have one final thing that I do want to bring up, and
Okay.
we want to just talk about like what are some tips of knowing our worth, how we can like do better and cultivating knowing our worth as a collective. Because of course, like I said, we're not perfect. We still trying to figure out our worth too.
On our
So
journey.
yes, so I guess I'll let you start. So, what do you feel like are some tips that you and other people that may be watching can think or that can do to cultivate knowing their worth or better in knowing their worth?
Um, I think like having a routine is important just because you can like have structure. For me, structure helps me. Having a routine, making those to-do lists of stuff that you may forget, um, practicing those affirmations is definitely important. Just like, and if you don't know where to start, um,
YouTube.
yes, YouTube, Google,
Yeah.
like at this point, everyone has, for the most part, has access to the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Even TikTok.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, looking up some affirmations that you can say to yourself that you resonate with every morning or every night, or whenever you're just feeling down. Like, if you feel those negative thoughts coming, just tell yourself, no, like, I'm that girl. Like,
Yeah, stopping those intrusive thoughts in that.
yes.
I honestly do that to myself. Like sometimes I have like an intrusive thought. I'll be like, it's just an intrusive thought. I'm letting it
Mhm.
go. One day
Mhm.
after order. It could be about the craziest shit. I just
Yes.
but it's like it's just an intrusive thought. Let it go.
Exactly. And I'm like, where's the fact? Like, I look for the evidence behind what pops up. Like, and
Hmm.
if there's no evidence, like, just let it go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about some like I know you said affirmations
Mhm.
and controlling your thoughts. So what about like in sex or love or dating and relationships? Like I said, I know that's my biggest thorn and knowing my worth. So,
Yeah.
what advice do you got for that?
Definitely just setting those boundaries and just letting people know what you will and won't accept. And, I'm working on that currently, just knowing where to draw that line between being nice and letting people know basically when not to play with you.
Period.
So yeah.
I love that. Was that it? Oh.
Yeah. What about you? You got some advice for the people?
Ah. Okay. I honestly say that for me, um, what I've been doing is, like I said, the affirmations, listen to the affirmations.
Mhm.
And then, okay, so this is kind of like a deeper level.
Okay.
But for my people in the LGBTQ community, the rainbow community,
Mhm.
um, specifically like my black gays, like it can be so hard or sometimes okay, so black men,
Mhm.
it's definitely has been a up and down relationship with myself and black men being a black gay man
Mhm.
since growing up or whatever. So it's like now that I'm actually grown and times are a little bit different. I mean, it wasn't like that bad anyway. We're still in our 20s, but
Yeah.
um, we were all kids, so of course, kids are kind of cruel.
Yeah.
Well, they can be,
Ruthless.
yes.
Ruthless.
I feel like actually let me reference it. I actually saw the tweet, and it was what made me think about it. It's two things actually. So this is one I seen the other night, actually yesterday. It said, I really wish gay men were kinder to each other in general. Growing up, not performing your masculinity in a traditional way can leave you with a lifelong scars from conflict with other men. The result of that is added challenges in dating and even general interactions with other men. To grow up having boys slash men be your primary antagonists, then being thrust into adulthood with no guidebook or mentors makes figuring out how to love men and develop friendships while working to heal yourself difficult. I don't think that's a valid excuse to return that pain you were dealt with to other people who basically have the same story as you, though. We really have to focus inward when it comes to healing. Getting swole and getting your money up is not enough. So a lot of the gays, we can be
Mm-hmm.
so mean to each other or like just so dismissive of each other just because of like what I was reading, like we really haven't had the best relationship with other men. So it's just like I'm learning to know my worth. Like I deserve to have a man be nice.
Yeah, to you,
Yes, and
yeah,
like
yeah,
just because like they're being nice doesn't necessarily mean that they like me.
yeah, yeah.
So it's just it was something else that coincided with that I had saw too.
Pen
Hey, nobody,
knows me like you do.
no. Okay, the original tweet was most gay niggas find anyone who showed them attention attractive. And
Why do I feel called out with that?
really? See, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, it's mainly the gays. So of course,
Yeah,
women and other people do deal with that. But that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's like like just because somebody show you attention, like that don't mean we have to find them attractive if we really don't. Like I feel like not knowing your worth, that you're worth just simple attention or simple respect, it
yeah,
could kind of
yeah.
like
You can get
cloud your
caught up in
mind.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, it can cloud you, like it can cloud you up and just make you think like, man, maybe they like me, or maybe they,
Mhm.
or even like you said, if like I said, they're giving us just a little bit of attention. Like even attention doesn't necessarily mean like, hey, I want to marry you tomorrow.
Exactly.
Just like you cute,
Exactly.
and I just give you a little bit of tease, but
Yeah.
then I don't want to do nothing else with it.
But we should be. That should be like not. I
That's
don't
such a big
know.
deal if
The
that makes.
bar is low. The
Yes, the
bar is
bar is
so
low.
low. It's so
That
low. So we
yes,
get so excited when somebody does give
bare
us that look.
minimum. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get. Yeah, and I ain't
It's
expect to get this
okay.
transparent, but that's like the more I've been doing like the vlogs and stuff. So I've been trying to be okay being comfortable and transparent on camera.
Yeah. Yeah. People
Yes,
gonna
they
love
gonna
it.
resonate with it. I hope. Yeah.
Exactly.
But all right, and it was somebody replied to it. That was really the thing, that made me like attack feel called out. It was just like
Mhm.
it's that childhood trauma. It was like most gay guys didn't learn that being treated with respect is just the minimum. So when anybody does that to them, they automatically like the person and or think that the person likes them. I had to learn that everyone that's kind to me doesn't like me. And somebody was like, I had to learn that lesson the hard way. Now I'm very picky. And it's just like, bitch, I had to learn the lesson the hard way too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but that's like a thing that I think that's my current like journey on knowing your worth. It's like just learning that.
Mhm.
Like it's okay to just have a man be kind to me,
Yeah.
and that be it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what's your you have any more advice for the people just on this journey, like what they can do or what you do?
Well, definitely in terms of that, like just reminding myself, like even if a guy is nice to me, but it's still not. I'm not saying it's been easy because it's still like trauma. So luckily, I start therapy next month. But
Mm,
anyway, I'll just say like knowing one, know that you deserve respect and know that just by being a human being, you have worth and you are worthy. Um, two, see, I want it to be something real good and knowing your worth. Knowing, I feel like honestly, in all of this, it's okay to make a mistake and not know your worth sometimes. Though. I know that's the unsaying everything that we just said, but I feel like don't put so much pressure on yourself to be this
perfect.
perfect, confident,
Put
celebrity put together
together.
person. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
like some days, like I say, you're not gonna feel like the best, or you're not gonna feel like you have the best worth, and that's okay too. But I feel like the part that you remind yourself is that I do have the worth. That's the part in knowing your worth is reminding, getting out of that, like letting
Yes.
yourself have that day to soak. But then, like the next day, it's like, bitch, okay,
Get it
I'm that
together.
bitch. Get it together.
Get it
Yes,
together.
yes.
You're allowed to have that time, but
Yeah,
yeah,
like
like
remind
you
you human, we
said,
humans, like it's okay to have a fucking sad ass day one day.
yeah. But don't let a day turn into a week, turn into a month, turn into 3 months. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
not doing that.
that's
Not
exactly
this year going forward, not this day. When you hear
period.
this, No more of that, sis.
No more of
Okay,
that. Like
sis
we,
or brother.
yeah,
Okay.
like give yourself that day because I honestly love that. Like when I have like a sad moment, I love having that day just to be sad.
Mhm.
And then I know the next day I'm gonna get myself
I'm gonna
together.
get
But
it
in that
together.
moment, bitch, I'm sad. I need
I'm
to be under the
sad.
covers. I need to eat,
Yes.
whatever. Yeah,
Yes, because I had moments where my sadness, I just let it drag out. It's
yeah.
called depression, but you have to like at some point you have to like say,
Snap.
hey,
And
no,
then some people
no
aren't able
more.
to snap out of it. So
Yeah,
that's when you have to reach out and say, hey, I need some
and
help.
get the resources you need. Yes, which is
Mm.
that's a whole other
That's a whole nother
conversation.
conversation. Yes,
Yes.
definitely. But
Um, it was
before we close this out, do you have anything else you want to add
it
to
was
knowing your worth?
it was great being on. I love you. I love what you're doing. I love this movement. Like here for it. Here for all the positivity and just
Yes.
helping us growing this journey together.
I
So
definitely appreciate that. Like, I
yeah,
don't know. It's like I really want Good Boy to be like a community. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It
Like,
will be.
I'm definitely grateful. So this is the first episode of I don't want to call it Let's Talk About It because I used to have a thing called Let's Talk About It. But I mean, right now it's Let's Talk About It, and then if I
Okay,
come on
yeah,
with another name, then we'll put that. But right now,
exactly.
thank you for coming out for Let's Talk About It. Next episode, what should we talk about?
Y'all leave it. Drop it in the
Yeah, what should we
comments.
talk about in the comments?
Let
What's some
us
stuff that
know.
y'all want to talk, or y'all need help with, or y'all like feel
Yeah,
like we should engage or discuss if that makes sense.
yeah,
I know a lot of my shit gonna be like sex.
yeah. I'm big on mental health.
So
So
hey, whatever it
yeah.
is, we ready to talk. Yeah, let's talk
Period.
about
Let's talk about
it.
it.